r/ask Reddit. What are you tired of explaining to other people? I work overtime for the money, not because I like working so much. I also hate it when the company you work for tries to push that you should be working because you love it there or have pride in the organization, not because of the paycheck, which is a nonsensical philosophy. If nobody was getting paid, nobody would be there. My work are having such difficulty at getting enough they are doing paying time and a half not time and a quarter and doing draws for free parking spaces as well as offering massive amounts of cash through raffles. It's great. I can't give you a refund for meat you bought 2 weeks ago. Can I speak to your manager? I am an important customer. I know the owners. That if they've got a tech problem at the office then they need to put in a kind ticket. Julie, edit. Thanks for the gold. Kind stranger. That's fair. But if IT wants people to use the ticket system, they need to have a ticket system which resolves problems. I don't mean clearing tickets, but actually fixing the problem. I worked for a university where the tickets would go to their tier 1 help first. The tier 1 help was student employees who would resolve your issue by sending you an email which was totally unrelated to the request. While I was there, once the ticket was closed, you had to submit a new ticket to restart the request via the ticket system. It was impossible to actually get help. Everyone who had worked for the school for a while just had the email of someone higher up in IT, and when something wasn't working, they would email that person. Okay boo, you never ducking do anything about my tickets. Long scar on my arm from a cat, not a razor. That one must be rough. If I had to explain that every time someone pointed that out I'd feel like no one would believe me. I have a scar on my forehead and you'd be surprised how many people make comments on Harry Potter despite the fact it's horizontal. Yes, I did get it at age 1. No, it was not a bald noseless freak swinging a stick and yelling nonsense. Me not drinking has nothing to do with you, and nothing you do will make me drink. Sorry if somehow that makes you feel attacked or judged, but as I said, it has nothing to do with you. Some people are actually annoying as duck about this. I don't drink either and the amount of times I've had people tell me it's time we're making you drink or it's boring not to drink is pretty insane. It's actually really backwards if you think about it. Replace drinking with dancing and this is my entire life story. My psoriasis. No, it's not contagious. I am more aware than you are that it looks horrible. Yes, I've tried everything. It's an autoimmune disease that I take chemotherapy drugs for. Your bullshit coconut oil herbal remedy shark fin bullshit isn't going to work. Stop staring and duck off. The other day, my aunt tried to tell me that lavender essential oil would cure my psoriasis. I just politely told her that I already take lavender oil baths quite frequently. For the scent, not any supposed medicinal benefits. But inside I wanted to scream. It's the same with my migraines. Have you tried putting coconut oil on your forehead? Sniffing lavender oil, eating gluten-free, taking ibuprofen? I have tried everything. Up to and including offering my soul to Satan just to get rid of this ducking ice pick in my brain. That's another one by the way. Migraines are not just a headache. Don't want to seem out of order, but advise anyone with migraines to get eye pressure checked. My migraines turned out to be due to high eye and brain pressure. My doctor didn't pick up on this initially. It was picked up only because I went to an optometrist and he noticed my eye pressure was high. So he sent me to ophthalmologist who in turn sent me to neurologist. If I hadn't started treatment for this condition, it would have sent me blind. Incidentally, the treatment is a drug called Diamox. It solved my terrible headaches and is saving my eyesight. No, it's not an accent. I am from here. I grew up here. No, my parents are not from New York, or Boston, or England. It's not an accent. I'm the only one in my family that talks like me. It's a speech impediment, dude, stop ducking asking questions. To be fair, if someone talked differently, speech impediment wouldn't be the first thing to come to my mind. I feel it'd be more rude to ask people who talk differently if they had a speech impediment. Like, oh, do you have a speech impediment? So I am British. No one cares why you are an a-hole. Only that you are an a-hole. This is always a fun topic with my depressed clients. Sure, you might be acting like an a-hole because you are miserable and nothing is helping. But no one owes it to you to stick around when you're being an a-hole to them, even if you have a good reason. Tax brackets aren't a single tax rate that gets applied to your entire income. They are graduated. You pay, hypothetically, 10% on the first $10,000 of income, 15% on the next $30,000, 25% on the next $50,000, etc. You'll never lose money by getting a raise that pushes you into the next tax bracket. You'll just pay a somewhat higher tax rate on the extra money you're getting as a result of the raise. Oh my god. Thank you. I cannot tell you how many times I've heard people refusing extra hours or a raise because they thought they'd lose money. Source: I do taxes. What free speech is? No. Free speech does not mean you get to say whatever you want without any repercussions. It means you cannot go to jail for it. I can still call you out for saying awful things. You can still be fired for saying awful things. As long as the government is not punishing you, your free speech is not being violated. Paraphrasing from one XKCD strip, when someone tells you to shut up because you said something awful, they're not violating your right to have free speech. It's just that you're being a dong, and they're showing you the door. The strip in question. Astrology is not the same as Astronomosaurus. I'm an astrophysicist. Which zodiac sign is my true love then? Taurus. I'm assuming you're Virgo. Nope. I'm not looking for a real job. I like being a temporary worker and essentially setting my own hours. I'm working the job I dreamed about having when I was 5 years old. I get to set my own hours, work at my leisure, take time off when I want to, and know that people are enjoying my stuff. And yet last week my mother sent me a job notice for an entry-level, minimum wage admin position with the comment, "Just in case. It's been 5 years, Mum. I'm doing okay." The real job pressure is strong and irritating. I'm curious. What job is this? That you can't just get rid of depression by pulling yourself up by the bootstraps or exercising more. It might help, but doesn't just remove it. Why do I have to explain this to medical experts? Is beyond me. Obligatory edit. Thanks everyone for kind words and telling your stories. I wish I could help you all to cope with this illness. I hope you get power to fight back your darkness and some of the monstrously wrong judgments and illusions people have about the mental health issues. If you feel like you have starting depression, please seek help and guidance. You don't want to make this shit longer. If it's starting one, then you can try the walks, vitamins, hobbies. Mine is browsing art. Those can lower symptoms and help if it's starting one. The first time I ever visited a therapist for my depression and anxiety, she wanted to talk to my mom about it with me in the room. My mom started talking about how I should just start exercising to get better. My therapist chewed her out for that. It was amazing to witness. Good therapist. That black is a good term and African American isn't. It is possible to be black and not be African and or American. So what's worse? To call somebody by a description of their skin color, just like white isn't considered racist, or to call people by description you presume about them that might totally be wrong? Reminds me of a story when Vanity Fair referred to Idris Elba as African American. He is neither of those things. My husband is from Jamaica. We get this so much it's unreal. That I am not quiet because I am not interested in the conversation. I just like listening more than talking. My dad was like this. He could spend hours listening to the conversation around him and just generally having a good time. Then he would say the most profound thing that would silence everyone for a moment while we absorbed his wisdom. And then we would go on jabbering at each other with this newly found pearl. God, I miss him. If you are fasting for blood work, not surgery or other procedures, the standard rules are nothing to eat or drink for 8 to 12 hours. Water and medications are okay unless your doctor told you otherwise. Coffee is not water. It breaks your fast. Gum and mints are not practically nothing. It breaks your fast. If your doctor said not to fast for your tests and I ask you if you did fast, don't panic. We have to document if you did or didn't fast. We are not trumping what your doctor told you to do. Yes, gum and mints will affect that glucose test you are worried about. The coffee you drank will raise your electrolytes, and if I say you were fasting when you weren't, your doctor will think something is wrong when it's not. Especially if you put cream or milk in it. Then your cholesterol could be falsely high. We can tell by your coffee breath that you are lying about fasting. Edit. Effect v affect edit. If your doctor gives you different instructions to follow, go by those instructions. Your doctor knows your medical history. Your doctor knows what issues you talked about in your visit with them. Your doctor is the one interpreting your results to better treat you. Your phlebotomist sees a set list of tests to draw for. We don't know what your results are. We don't know what your tests are for. Always listen to your doctor. Edit. Half of the comments I am getting on this now are about doctors saying black coffee is fine. Can you please read the whole post then? All edits included. What a doctor advises trumps what the standard rules are. It breaks your fast. I just understood the term breakfast. Damn. It makes so much sense. Edit. This is now a fifth of my comment karma. Wow. I love when these little realizations occur. They're almost cute in a way. Just because I offer to cook does not mean I offer to do all the dishes. I believe that if one person cooks, the other should clean up. I was raised this way. Mum cooked. We tidied after. It seems fair to me. That I know wrestling is fake, but I will continue to watch it because I'm entertained by it, just like how you're entertained when you watch a movie. I really like soaps. When I was a teenager I tried watching wrestling. There is amazingly exciting drama in wrestling. Yep, I've always said wrestling is a soap opera for macho men. Me being gay and another man being the same does not instantly mean we are compatible and should be in a relationship. Oh, you're gay? Yep, I've got a friend who's gay. You guys should hook up. Look, I know you think you're being sweet and setting up relationship, but a preference for penis does not make the only requirement for a relationship. To be fair, many people do this with their straight friends as well. OMG, single boy is single. We should totally set him up with single girl. Nobody does that to me. That people who listen to metal don't worship Satan. It's ridiculous how many people still believe that metal equals Satanism and or sadism. But the devil does love metal. There's never been a rock off that he's ever lost. But there have been many recorded times he has lost, such as when the devil went down to Georgia in tribute. That petting or distracting my service dog in training isn't harmless. His main task is to alert me to migraines, anaphylaxis, blackout spells. If he misses an alert because you are distracting him, I could end up in the hospital. Please ignore service dogs, y'all. Edit. Sorry I'm on mobile, but here are some action shots of my boy from today. https://imgur.com gallery p0kmk. It's always a helpful reminder when the dogs have vests that say do not pet service animal. I feel like I'm being yelled at, but it's for the best because my urge to pet all dogs is very high. This reminds me of the time a lady that frequented our shop's neighboring shop came in and let her service dog take his little vest off and take a lunch break with us. It was the best. He zoomed around our store and let us love him and pet him and love him some more until it was time for him to get back to work. We had been admiring him from far away for months but knew he was working, so we didn't dare bother them. Yes, I'm tall. I've been this tall since middle school. Telling me how tall I am is pointless. I'm tired of trying to explain the various kinks I'm into when people find out. I'm tired of explaining to clients at work that sometimes their budget can't cover what they want and there's nothing I can do to change that. I'm tired of explaining to my roommate that letting a burnt pan soak is not the same as forgetting about it. So, play a lot of basketball? Huh? No. Duck you. Why don't you ask short people if they play a lot of miniature golf? I hate the basketball assumption. I'm too uncoordinated for all that shit. I was better being on the line in football. That just because we sell Starbucks coffee doesn't mean we are a Starbucks. No, I cannot take your Starbucks card. No, I will not just try and see if it works. Yes, I do know more about my own job than you do. Found the Barnes & Noble employee. Haha. I still have chronic pain. And chronic still means that it's not getting better. Telling me that I look better than before does not comfort me. It only reminds me that I've had to improve my acting skills in order to make people like you feel better about being around me. Yes, I have days where I am in less pain. I love those days. Just because I don't bitch about being in pain every day doesn't mean nothing hurts. It just means, since I can't remember the last time I had a pain-free day, there is zero point in mentioning it. Sigh. Having a chronic illness. It's an invisible illness, so I get shit from randos who tell me off for parking in the disabled spots. I have the sticker. I'm sick of having to remind people that just cause I look okay on the outside doesn't mean anything. I'm still sick. I'm still in pain. All the damn time. It's just a burden. It's my burden to bear. But some days it can be a lot heavier. I used to work with a great lady that was a double leg amputee. You couldn't even notice if you weren't looking for it, but it was just 2 aluminum poles from her knees down, ending in foot-shaped wedges. She had a car with the special hand controls and everything, but other than having to really heave herself out of a chair and getting tired quickly, she walked fine and looked totally unexceptional when wearing a pair of long pants. We once went to Walmart together to get supplies for an office party. She parked in a handicapped spot, of course. As we were loading our bags in her trunk, some random woman got up in our faces and tried to shame us for using the spot while able-bodied by shaking her finger and yelling at us non-stop. My co-worker tried to explain, but the woman was just shouting over her. So she leaned back against her car and waited for her to run out of steam. Once it was quiet, she pinched the legs of her pants, pulled them up to expose the aluminum poles, and very quietly said, "Is this disabled enough for you? You stupid ducking dunt." She told me she's had to do that several times to scare off the roaming parking lot vigilantes. Since we both have dongs and identify as men, the logical conclusion is that neither me nor my husband is the woman in the relationship. Same with lesbians. There's no man of the relationship. They're both women. The phrase Merry Christmas is not under attack. Saying Happy Holidays instead is not anti-Christian. It's just an acknowledgement that we're a diverse culture, and we shouldn't make assumptions about other people's religion. It's not even a religious thing. A lot of the time, if I say Happy Holidays, it's because I want to throw New Year's in with that too. Those ungrateful jingle bellends are getting an extra week's worth of good cheer out of me. Seriously, for like the first 25 years of my life, it didn't even occur to me that Happy Holidays meant anything other than Merry Christmas. Oh, and Happy New Year's too. Why they shouldn't take unprescribed antibiotics, why they should finish prescribed antibiotics, you'll kill us all with your drug-resistant super cuties, you ducks. That I didn't leave teaching because the kids were too much to handle. I left because the teachers were a-holes. When I leave, it will be because of the administrative BS that keeps me from doing my job. The kids are what make me want to stay. Statistics and probability. Two big ones that I see all the time with statistics are 1. Headlines like 300% increase in bad thing. If bad thing is rare, like most bad things are, a town having 1 homicide in 2012 and 4 homicides in 2013 is meaningless. That shouldn't even be considered an increase, especially if the context is that 3 people were killed at once. 2. I see stats like 50% of the population is women. So if there are only 5% of women doing a job, there's a problem. Almost nothing in the world works like that, you dopes. People aren't randomly distributed into jobs or cities or crimes. There is a huge and complex web of factors that led people to act that make it insane and idiotic to expect X% of the population to make up X% of every other category. To show the importance of one of those factors would take a lot more effort than just comparing population and arrest rates for your shitty clickbait article. As for probability, your edgy jab that 538 got the 2016 election wrong or that the weather forecasters got the weather wrong makes you sound so dumb. And I'm not sure if I'm the only one to realize it or just one of the last people to let it go. Also, drug dog alerts should not be PC for a search, because bays. In my city at the moment this really hits home. There's been an increasing epidemic of a particular style of carjackings and armed robberies in the past year, and the media has increased its reporting of these crimes in particular. All you see on FB News comments is this place is a FKN crime capital. Crime is through the roof. Can't go anywhere anymore. But the stats overall show a significant decline in crime as a whole, and my city is much more safer than it was a few years ago. Yet people make contested and casual estimates of the severity of crime rates. I've even seen videos of police commissioners discussing the decline of crime rates, and people are willfully ignoring and disregarding these stats as if it's made up bullshit. Knowledge does not equal intelligence. Actually, the opposite is the more serious problem. I constantly get people who argue that because they have a degree in law, they should be smart, so their opinion on GMOs, evolution, vaccines and climate change must be flawless. That my husband and I don't want children, and no, we won't change our minds. I'm sorry that it takes having children for you to feel like your life has meaning. My sister-in-law doesn't want kids. She told me the other day that at least 3 different people told her she was selfish because of this. I'm like, dude, what the duck? Who says shit like that to people? Not having children is selfish. Having children is inherently selfish. You do it because it's what you want. And you put children into an overpopulated world that's so full of hatred. Sure, that's not at all selfish. Also, I mean the generic you, just as and for your information, wouldn't want you to feel attacked. If you eat it and it kills you, it's poisonous. If it bites you and you die, it's venomous. The effects of something may affect you. Humans did not evolve from apes. We have a common ancestor. Vaccinations don't ducking cause autism. Climate change is not just global warming. I got annoyed just having to write those things. That I'm not mad, sad, worried or any other negative emotion. This is just my face. Stop telling me that things can't be that bad or that you should smile. It's a beautiful day. I know that I have resting beach face. I don't need your comments to confirm that. Being bisexual doesn't mean I want a threesome. Everyone asks. I can't say my sexual identity without all these shit questions. If you're gonna be that way, not only am I never hanging out with you again, but I'm taking the girl. On the plus side, you do get to collect all the wonderful different ways the sentence "so me and my boyfriend were wondering" can end. Open bracket. Spoilers. It's one way. Collection over. During my school years I was always generally quiet when I wasn't around my friends. And I would constantly have to explain to people that I just didn't want to talk or wasn't comfortable doing so. Not many people get that asking a quiet person why they're so quiet or asking why they aren't talking just does more harm than good. When my earbuds are in my ears or I'm wearing headphones, that is not the best time to try to start a conversation with me. My name. Yes, it's not your average name. No, it's pronounced. Understood. Period. I wear makeup because I like doing it. It's fun to color in my face. It's relaxing. I like making myself look even better. And it's certainly not to impress anyone or that I think I look bad without it, so go mind your own business and let me spend an extra 30 ducking seconds of my morning drawing a black lines on my eyelids. Sarah. Not all autistics are retarded, and not all want a cure, but that doesn't mean people who are retarded and people who do want a cure don't exist, and they shouldn't be stigmatized for being on either side of the spectrum, or on either side of the cure debate. I hate the stereotype of the autistic super genius. Most people who are autistic are only average in IQ and suffer for their whole lives from their disadvantages, like people abusing them socially. Service animal etiquette. Most people know not to pet service dogs, but talking to, making kiss noises at or otherwise distracting service dogs is a problem too. Ignore the damn dog, it's not there for you to gawk at. It's there to do a job for its handler. Bonus picture of my service dog out of uniform https imga.com j4tk5oi jpg. I like to be alone sometimes. I would really prefer if people did not try to interact with me during these periods. I do not hate them or bear them any ill will. I simply need this quiet time for my peace of mind. Just because I'm young doesn't mean I'm not in pain. And also just because I don't look sick or exhausted doesn't mean I'm not suffering. I've just gotten really, really good at hiding it. As to why I don't do my art for a living. Yep, I can produce half decent stuff after 15 years of drawing as a hobby. I get asked this a lot because I tend to go out to art. Go figure. Sitting in a bar drawing leads to far less procrastination than next to my computer at home, and draw on my breaks at work. However, doing art for living is one heck of a precarious career unless you know the right people and are immensely lucky. It also is one surefire way to kill it as an enjoyable pastime. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.